Hi and welcome here on pierosini.com, the wine show. And God bless today because I have a really special guest here on my show, Moreno Petrini. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Moreno, thank you that you have time for me and my audience. But in the beginning, could you please give us a little backup of who you are and where we are, actually?
Okay, we are in Tuscany, in the north part of Tuscany. The area is the Lucca province, and we are in the northeast part of Lucca. And we are close to the seaside. There is a fantastic shore, Versilia, nearby. And we are in Tenuta di Valgiano, that is an estate producing wine since century in this area.
Moreno, you started your winery or winemaking in 1993, actually. Before, no wine growing knowledge?
No growing knowledge, and in my family, my grandfather used to produce wine.
Yeah. My
father decided to have a different career and was not really into the countryside. And so back in 1993, after different experiences around the world, I decided to
produce wine.
Yeah. And I grew up next door.
Yeah.
This was really a move of, let's say, 500-600 meters north from the place I grew up. So I knew this place. I was in love with this place because it got some magical spots.
Yes.
And so I'm here.
I was thinking about why a person should produce wine in these, what you say, Colli Lucchesi, no?
Yes.
Yes, because we are very close to Chianti Classico. Montalcino is not that far away, actually. And so I think the characteristics of these wines from this region are quite interesting, let's say.
Yes, I should say it's...
So you should be really in love with this region.
Of course, on top of that, I'm from this area. I'm originally from Lucca, so I'm pretty proud to be here and producing wine in this land. Historically, this spot is pretty unique in Tuscany because Lucca had been an independent republic.
Yeah, I heard about it.
For 700 years, and we never get under the domination of Florence. And Lucca, the town, is a small capital because it was the capital of this small state that was going from Massa to Pisa and inside to Pistoia. And we had been an independent republic since till 1799, when the French came, and after a few years, Napoleon's sister Elisa became a princess of Lucca. And so a French court came here. And this was one of the reasons that make this place special also for the production of wines, because those French families coming with the court ruling the town start bringing French varietal to grow up here.
So it means that the French brought here, like, let's say, Syrah, Merlot,
yes,
back in many years ago.
Back in the beginning of 19th century, and so
this
the blend,
is interesting.
The blend with the Sangiovese had been made here some 200 years ahead than the Super Tuscan movement, in which in the 90s of last century, all producers in Tuscany were mixing Sangiovese with French varietal.
Okay.
Here there is a long tradition of doing that. Of course, the reason why at that time there had been this introduction of the French varietal, we should say that is more on the side of sharing the risk of the vintage, because the Merlot, for example, is ripening 1 month before the Sangiovese. The Syrah is in between the two. And the two varietal are loving very different conditions. So Merlot is very important in a cold vintage to help the Sangiovese. Syrah is very, very important to help the Sangiovese in a very hot vintages, because Sangiovese could be stressed by the season. So generally talking, the reason why they decided to mix these three blends was to share the risk and have the chance to have all the vintages a good blend.
Okay. So and actually after some couple of years, in 2001, you changed your approach in the vineyards towards biodynamics. I know it's a really wide topic to talk about, and what I'm curious about is that so what forced you, or what led you to the decision to produce biodynamic wines, and second, what were the challenges of doing this, and third but not least, what was the effect afterwards on the wines?
Okay. To answer your question, I think two words about how this project starts is very important, and we start with a very different project from what we are doing today, because the tradition of this area was to produce ready-to-drink wines, and because there is a nice market for those wines in the area, we decided to go in that direction. After a couple of vintages, we realized that the grapes we could get from our vineyard, they were more, let's say, complex than we expected. And then the project slightly changed to produce some more important wines. And I think this is very important, starting from observation. So there is not a project in the mind that then we try to put in place, but was on the other way around. Pay attention what the countryside was giving us, we decided to change the project and keep on going and watching what's going on. We realized that we're very important to increase the amount of life in the soil, and for that reason we quit right away to use pesticides.
Okay.
We never did any herbicide, but like spraying some systemics, and we quit doing that in '97. So we had been organically growing for 3-4 years.
Okay.
But we understood that need a step over in the practical of agriculture to reproduce the humus in the soil. Because the humus is something that in the bush naturally is coming after 10-15 years, in which leaves, arms and everything goes on the ground and could reproduce the humus itself.
Please let me interrupt. The humus actually in the soil is, I know, but maybe you can explain to the audience why the humus is so important.
Humus is what you find in the bush if you move the soil, and you could see it's a kind of soil that is very dark,
evidence
very
of life,
smelly, full of life, and you could imagine like a sponge. In which you have water, you have mineral salt, everything is down there, but is not combined together.
Okay.
So the reproduction of the humus it was a key point, and in a very intense agricultural act like a vineyard, it's impossible that the humus can get back by itself.
Okay.
And we found out that this was the focus of the biodynamics practice.
Okay.
And this was the reason why we had been interested to have more knowledge in that direction. And after a few years, we have been very happy because we have been able to reproduce the structure in the soil, and the life of the soil increased dramatically.
Reset.
Yeah.
Okay. So could you quickly explain the effect on the wines afterwards? I mean, not in 2001, but maybe later.
I should say that if you do biodynamics in the right way, you could see effect in a pretty short period of time.
Okay.
If it takes longer, means that you need to focus on some details that might be are not corrected. I should say that biodynamics is not changing the quality of the wine. We should agree on what we define quality of the wine. Talking about fine wines, in my opinion, the quality of the tannins is generating the characteristic of the wine itself.
Okay. So Moreno, how would you describe the main characteristic of the wines of Valgiano and this region, or let's say Valgiano?
Generally, in this area, being in the northern part of Tuscany, the wines are elegant and very refreshing. The acidity is important here. And in Valgiano especially, we have a pretty special terroir because we are at 250 meters above the sea level, but we are protected from the north by a mountains, goes up 1,000 meters.
Spectacular.
These mountains is sandstone. Then the border of the property is a river. The river coming down from the mountains had been getting down pebbles, round stone, sandstone. So closer to the sea, to the river, we have a combination of clay and sandstone. On the other side of the small valley, there is the cellar, and close to the cellar is calcaire, chalk. Then we have these two kinds of soil, and in the middle of the vineyard, the two soils overlap. And so we have a combination of clay, calcaire, and sandstone. This is unique because it's rare, because these soils get two different geological origin. So it's should be a reason why to find them together. Okay. And the reason why here is because of the river, the erosion of the river.
So to add complexity?
It's complexity, and then you could imagine everything is growing, not just grapes, but everything is growing on calcaire, is normally very powerful.
Yeah.
On
and keeps the acidity, right?
Yes, but it's more on the structure.
Oh, okay.
I can describe the calcaire soil like a gentleman that would like to keep everything for itself. He's not very generous. He's keeping everything. So the wine could be very powerful, but sometimes lack a little bit of finesse or aromatic side. That is on the opposite on the sandstone, because sandstones give very aromatic fruits, and the wines coming from that kind of soils are very, very elegant. Sometimes lack a little bit of power, of structure.
Okay.
So the combination of these two soils is giving you very refined tannins, very aromatic intensity, but also the power that you need to have a complex wine.
So Moreno, it was a really, really huge pleasure for me and the audience who respect what you're doing. That you have time for us to give us a little insight of your work, where you're living in. I think I'm quite sure that many people don't know even that Colli Lucchesi exists, because it's a really niche.
Very, very small application.
I mean, due to the fact that you have all these bigger appellation around you. But I think it's promising. Keep on working it. I really wish you the best for the future and for Valgiano, obviously. And so, thanks once again. So, Internet, this was the session here with Moreno Petrini from Tenuta Valgiano. I hope you enjoyed, and I really hope I see you in the next video. Peace.